Ministers of ICTs throughout the AU have agreed on one thing, that there is a need for us to come up with a continental digital economy strategy that will help guide all the countries under the AU. But most importantly, what we're saying, there's a need for collaboration by the different states, recognizing the potential and capacity amongst the different states in order to make sure that Africa can rise as a continent, but we're working towards harmonization. This morning we had our Smart Africa meeting, a board meeting, whereby we discussed how do we plan to move forward, how do we make sure that there is a structure that will be able to drive the work. And indeed, we were successful in that. As we will be here now this afternoon, we're launching that introduction of the development of the digital economy strategy for Africa.
How important it is for the continent to be ready?
It is very important because you will know that Africa is one of the continents, definitely, that has lots of people who are unemployed. But as responsible governments, how do we make sure that we tap into the capacity and the opportunity that is being presented to Africa? Because right now, if you go to Europe, if you go to America, they are saturated. That's the reality. Africa is the next big thing in terms of being the market, not only for us to create jobs, but for them to make money. All countries must identify flagship projects that will be driven from the Smart Africa Forum to say, as South Africa, for example, we have said, the primary thing for us as South Africa is to drive digital transformation. And if we are talking about digital transformation, it means connectivity must be at the center. So those are the flagship projects, both from the country, South Africa, and at the AU level that will be supported on. By doing that, we're getting Africans ready for the 4IR.
How do we bring the cost of data down?
One of the things that have been listed by the operators as the reason for the high data costs, they spoke of the price of the devices themselves, which is why if you listen to President Ramaphosa in South Africa in the State of the Nation address, he spoke about the need for us to invest in infrastructure, but he took it further to say, how do we promote manufacturing? Because if we then able as Africans to provide our own devices, we're therefore able to say, now you have no game or no reason to increase the data cost. Come on board, infrastructure, we will be giving you incentives, but most importantly, we will be promoting manufacturing, which also requires cooperation by the different departments, DTI, economic development, our department, to say, how do we work together, and small business development, how do we work together to ensure that that innovation that is produced from the Department of Science and Technology finds expression into the market. And by doing that, we would be able to say confidently, so yes, we'll be able to reduce the data, the cost of communication. But as South Africa, we are not folding our arms. That is why we're engaging the operators to say there are things that are a must that we can't compromise on. For example, if we are talking about education, there is no other option but to allow the operators to work with us in ensuring that the educational content is digitized, and therefore it must be free. If you're looking for educational content, definitely at some point we're hopeful that through the persuasion that we're going on with the operators, we'll be able to even offer free government services when you are on the net. And that takes partnership. That is why President Ramaphosa emphasized that you watch the space, we are coming, but not only as government, together as the society.